I'm Anita Murjani, and one of the things that's close to my heart, which I believe the world needs more of, is compassion. And also, to go with that, we need more empathy, sensitivity, and love. And of course, let's throw joy into that mix too. We're going through really strange times right now. And what I've noticed is that the messages that are coming at us, whether it's from mainstream media, social media, generally from the world at large, the messages seem to be very fear-based. And because we are now in this kind of fear-based state where people are worried and concerned, they're concerned about the pandemic and so on, what this does is it puts us in fight or flight, which actually makes us very divisive and angry sometimes towards our fellow human beings. Everybody's just doing their best. And that's why I wanted to remind people that what's missing right now is compassion, empathy, love for our fellow human beings. And so I make it my mission to keep spreading that and sharing that. I actually make it a point to not share fear-based messages at all. And because there's enough people doing it already. Even when people tell me that I need to be more realistic, this is real, it's okay, there's enough people doing it. I'm here to spread love and compassion and empathy, and I think that more of us should be doing that. And so this is my reminder for you to do that. And also, of course, this is a good time to spread and share joy and happiness. So thank you for listening and tuning in, and I wish you all the best. Love you guys. Bye.
Good afternoon and welcome back. Everyone wants to be happy, but did you know that if you are determined to be happy, you can actually make it happen? We will know the secret in this insightful talk, Manifesting Happiness Through Meditation, by our esteemed guest, Yogacharini Anandhi. With over 20 years of experience in yoga and meditation, Anandhi Korina Kontaxaki is a senior teacher at the International Center of Yoga Education and Research in India under the guidance of Dr. Anand Balyogi Bhavnani and the Gitanand Yoga tradition. As a yoga teacher trainer, she is the founder of the Yoga Life Holistic Spiritual Training Program, where she trains yoga teachers, therapists, and those interested in deepening their yoga practice through a holistic system of personal development that includes yoga postures, pranayam, meditation, yoga nutrition, yoga philosophy, life practices, creative writing, and physical expression. As an Ayurvedic counselor, she is the founder of Activated Vegan Seminars, a yogic nutrition guide for health, vitality, and mental development based on Ayurveda. We hand over the e-mic to Yogacharini Anandhi. Vegan Seminars, a yogic nutrition guide for health, vitality, and mental development.
Someone to tell me if you can hear me, and am I ready? Is it ready? Yes? Yes, okay, great. Thank you very much. It was a beautiful introduction. I want to thank my teacher who gave me this opportunity to speak about happiness and meditation in this festival. Thank you very much. Thanks. I think the organizers of the festival, you do a great job till now. Well done. Everything is organized. The subjects are very interesting. I'm very happy I'm here. Thank you very much. Let me just invoke the spirit of my guru and we will start. Om Tat Parampariyaya Vidmahe Jnana Lingeshwaraya Dhimahi Tanno Guru Prachodayate. Om Yoga Maharishi Dr. Swami Gitananda Giri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. So, I chose to speak about happiness. I chose to speak about happiness for personal reasons. I usually give this speech in audience that I can see and they can see me. So now I will guess that you watch me, and I hope with this speech I will help people to feel happier. The reason I chose this subject is because I had personal difficulty with happiness. From very, very young age, I would suffer from depression crisis. I wouldn't be able to find peace inside me or happiness. I was usually unhappy. And this lasted very long time. But I was very lucky because one day my father gave me a book about yoga. I was 12 years old. And in this book, in yoga, there were some concentration techniques and relaxation techniques. And I started following them. I was hoping that I would not have so many depression crises and I would be able to enjoy life. And it happened. And it worked because while I was in this deep relaxation, which I was very young and it was very easy for me to get there very easily. While I was in deep relaxation, the ego was settled down. So it was easier for me to realize that things are not that bad. It's only the desires, the stress of the ego is bringing this sadness. I managed to survive depression, and when I was 30 years old, I visited Ananda Ashram in Pondicherry, India. Met my guru, my Amaji, and my other guru now, Dr. Ananda Balayogi Bhavanani. I stayed with them for 6 months, and I was trained as a yoga teacher. And I remember during these 6 months, there was not one day there wasn't a day I was feeling sad. I was 6 months in complete bliss. So much that Amaji gave me the name Anandhi when at the end of the course. So my name is Anandhi, and every time I forget about happiness, my name is there to remind me. Like Dr. Ananda said to me many times, your name is your sadhana. Since then, I give many lectures about happiness and meditation. This is not the first time. I give this the same lecture in many festivals and in any occasion. I even did a performance about happiness, about the difficult art of being happy. It's exactly how Swami Gitananda was. It's expressing it in the Yoga Step by Step book, The Difficult Art of Being Happy. It is difficult because the ego gets between, the ambitions get between, the desires get between. And slowly, in the next half an hour, we'll try to put this in order, and stay with me so we can put them in order and find out what is happiness, what is the ego, and what is meditation, and then connect all these three. This is our goal until the end of this session. What is happiness? What is ego? And what is meditation? So let's try, okay? Feel free, if you have any questions, to write at the chat, and I will be able to see it. I'm already on Facebook as well. Let's try. So what is happiness? I usually ask the audience about this. Now I have no audience, I can only see a screen, so I will answer myself. Happiness. Before I answer, I want to just ask some questions about happiness. Is happiness having what you want? Or is happiness not to have what you don't want? Like, I don't want to be in war, for example. Okay, so if I live in peaceful environment, I'm happy. Or I want to get a car. When I get the car, am I happy? So, is happiness to have what you want, or to not to have what you don't want? Is happiness to satisfy the senses? Does this will bring us the happiness to satisfy the senses? Or to be safe and have the material things I need? Is this happiness maybe? There are many other things that people might think is happiness. And I will ask you now, did any of the above make people happy in the end? Like rich people, very rich people who have everything, are they happy? Or we get what we want, we have a successful career, we have a car and house. Are we happy? Do we get happy in the end? And another question, is happiness a state of being, uninterrupted state of being, that continuous happiness? These are some questions we need to ask ourselves when we talk about happiness. Is happiness endless, uninterrupted? I believe we can have constant happiness. I really believe that. And I really believe that we can gain that during meditation. Constant happiness, not even a day being unhappy. But in order to do that, we need to get out of the bipolar world. Because while we are in the bipolar world, happiness will bring sadness, and then sadness will bring happiness. This is how things are. This is how the nature law of bipolar world is. When you are happy, then you become sad, and when you are sad, you become happy. So we need to get out of this in order to sustain happiness. How will we get out? This is the question now. How do we get out of the bipolar world without being completely out of society, doing our job, going to work, having family, travel, share, have friends? How do we do that without losing all the social life and be constantly happy? Well, it's not easy, but it can happen. It can happen. And it can happen if we understand that whatever is happening outside shouldn't affect us in the end. I will say it in Sanskrit term, sandosha, the inner contentment, sandosha. So if we separate these two and we understand that no matter what is happening outside, we are able and we can be happy, have this constant happiness, constant bliss, then maybe we'll find a way like that. There are two kinds of happiness. One is the goal-oriented happiness. Like, I get this, I'm happy. I don't get it, I'm not happy. So we play in the bipolar world. I get it, I'm happy. I don't get it, I'm not happy. I don't want that, I have it, then I'm not happy. I lose it, I get rid of it, I'm happy. So this is the bipolar world happiness. And then we have the other kind of happiness, is the anandam, the inner happiness, the continuous bliss, ananda. This happiness has nothing to do with the outward. So we have to just sit down and play with this idea of happiness a little bit more. Before I go deeper into the happiness, let me talk a little bit about the ego, because it plays a very, very important role into the inner and outer happiness. The ego is a beautiful, beautiful mechanism that helps us work independently into the material world. Like, I have my own karma, my own programmings, and whatever I manage through my karma and my programmings is mine. I have my own dharma then. So it's the illusion of separateness. The ego is the illusion of separateness, but it's a very useful separateness, because then we can work on our own without being affected by without our development being affected by the others. Like a cat has whatever is doing is not hers. Her actions do not belong. The karma of the action of a cat doesn't belong to the cat, belongs to the whole species of the cats. So, but we have this benefit. If the person next to me it's building a lot of karma, I can separate myself and say, okay, I don't want to build this karma, so you are out, you are separate than me. I want to work in a more spiritual way. I want to work and burn karma instead of building karma. So I have this benefit through my ego. But the ego became so strong these days, so strong, and we can't get rid of it. And not only it got into this illusion of separateness too much. It's not only that. It's that beliefs that can manage this bipolar world and be the king of this bipolar material world. And okay, let's say that we accept that. The problem is that the ego doesn't want to be happy. The ego wants to have goals and get them. Fulfill their goals, nothing else. So the ego, the moment you get what you want, will want something else. So it's this goal-oriented happiness that we were talking about is coming from the ego. I want that, I get it, I'm happy. But then I'm happy for a minute, and then what will I want? Or I don't want that. So how will I get rid of it? And when I get rid of it, I'm happy for 1-2 minutes. And then, okay, what else I do not want? What else I can get rid of? So this is the game that we play right now. We externalize all our awareness, and we just follow what we want, hoping that we will get happy. And then when this doesn't happen, we are unhappy. When it happens, we are happy for very little time. And then another goal is coming, and then another goal. And we're never happy. We're just running after happiness. And this we think is enough, but it's not. So that's why I wanted to talk a little bit about this mechanism, the ego, because we have to understand that it's not us. This mechanism is not us. It's a very strong programming inside us, but it is not what we are. So if we understand that it is not what we are not our ego, we are not our desires, we are not the things we don't want, we are not our opinions, we are not our feelings. we are not our likes and dislikes. If we understand that we are not all this, then we can ignore them. We will be able to ignore them when they are coming. But if we are attached to them and we think it's us, then it's impossible to get rid of them. It's impossible. We will have to live with them and let them guide us, and we will never be happy. That's why when I was that young and I got into deep relaxation and the ego relaxed, and I forgot about what I want, what I don't want. I forgot about my image. I forgot about my likes and dislikes, my opinions. Then I suddenly found happiness. And then when I came back to the bipolar world and the ego kingdom, then I started being depressed again. And when I was in the ashram and I was concentrated on the training, on my training, and on losing the control of the ego, then again, I was always happy. But this happiness is not this excitement that we get when something nice happens. It's a constant bliss, this ananda, this constant bliss that that doesn't go, and you don't worry that you will lose it, because you understand after a point that this is who you are, this is what you are. So happiness, goal-oriented happiness, and constant bliss, these are two, and then ego between that. The ego wants the goals to get fulfilled, the desires to get fulfilled, and not to be happy. These two things we need to remember, to separate the goal-oriented happiness from the constant bliss, and to realize that the ego doesn't want to be happy, wants all the goals to get done. All right? And we go now to the meditation and how to connect what we just said with meditation. Meditation now is a systematic technique to settle down the ego, not to kill it, not to delete it and get rid of it. No, not necessary. We need the ego, we need it. It's a systematic technique to settle down the ego and let the soul comes out. What is the soul? What we really are. What are we? Who are we? We are this that will not die when this body finish. So this thing that will stay after this body dies, this is what we are. This is who we are. This is the soul, the Atman. So we need to focus on that and let the ego do its job in the material world as an instrument and not as the master. And meditation is the technique, is thousands of techniques to settle down the ego and to bring the soul, to rise the soul. I want to just say what Dr. Swami Gitananda said to this article, The Difficult Art of Being Happy. He said that happiness exists beyond the ego. We can begin our search into the mystery of happiness by recognizing that the real pursuit of happiness is by its nature opposed to the gratification of sensual appetites. This is what Swami Gitananda said. So we need to get out of it in order to be happy. And people usually want to get deeper into the senses and the goals in order to be happy. But this is not true. And meditation is a nice medium to bring us out of this. The Raja Yoga, the Ashtanga Yoga, the 8 steps of Ashtanga Yoga, it's a beautiful guide on how to meditate. The Ashtanga Yoga, the 8 steps of Raja Yoga, it's a beautiful, beautiful guide to show us how to meditate. I will just say the Sanskrit names and then I will explain. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. So these are the 8 steps. And let's step by step get into these steps and realize how these 8 steps can lead us to meditation, and then how meditation can lead us to this Ananda, constant bliss that has nothing to do with what is happening outside. Nothing, nothing, nothing to do. Yama and Niyama. Now, I know that most of you are very experienced in yoga, and you are very experienced in the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga, the 8 limbs. And I'll try to explain it in a different way, with the goal to get into meditation and be happy. All right? So let's try to find how to use these 8 steps in order to get into meditation. And what is meditation? I repeat, is to settle down the ego and let the soul rise. It's a technique, it's a system to rise, to bring the soul out and settle down the ego. Yama and Niyama. Yama and Niyama are techniques in life, 5 Yama and 5 Niyama, so that we will live a kind of life that will help us when we sit in meditation to relax and not to have thoughts and guilt and unfinished situations. When we follow the Yama and Niyama, these life rules, let's say, life conditions, then it helps us very much to be more relaxed in life, to have conscience, clear conscience, we say in Greek, to sit and not feel guilty about anything, not feeling bad about anything. The Yama are, the 5 Yama are life rules in order to not to create more karma, not to create more heaviness in the nervous system. Niyama are 5 rules to clean up the karma, to clean the nervous system from the heaviness. I will not go very deep into the Yama Niyama. You can, most of you, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, just read about it and see how these beautiful techniques of Yama and Niyama can help you live a better life and be able to concentrate better. Ivanhoff, a very famous philosopher, said that the way you live today will what's in Greek? The way you live today will help your meditation the next day. Determine, I don't know the English word. The way you live today will help you meditate the next day. If you lived a good life, you didn't build karma, you managed to burn karma, you didn't build impressions, unfinished impressions, but you also burned unfinished impressions, then you sit in meditation and very quickly you pass through the 8 steps and you get into dhyana, the 7th step at least, and meditate. But if your life is full of very complicated life, then you can't sit in meditation. So the way we live will be shown through Yama and Niyama. Yama and Niyama will show us how to live in order to sit in meditation. These are the first 2 steps. And then we go to the 3rd step, asana. Asana, steady and comfortable state of being. steady and comfortable state of being. This is a very nice description of asana, translation of asana. But let's take it more practically. Asana means to be able to sit comfortably in a position that will not bring discomfort and will not make us move all the time. Okay? That, of course, needs a strong spine, which we can gain through Hatha Yoga or any other technique, any other practice. A strong spine that will not complain after a while. Huh? And we sit in meditation without the body to be an obstacle. Also, I would add asana, a disciplined hand posture, like a mudra, a mudra. So a concentrated energy circle with our hands will help a lot. So we will add in asana a disciplined mudra, hand posture, in order to be able to sit in a disciplined, steady posture and be comfortable. Then we move to pranayama. Pranayama. I like Dr. Ananda's explanation of pranayama. Building and directing prana. Building and directing our vitality. This, again, we might do it more often with breathing techniques, but pranayama is not a breathing technique only. But we use breathing techniques to build and direct the prana, the energy. We cannot sit in meditation and have our vitality spread around or not be able to experience it and direct it. Because meditation, I remember Amaji always says that meditation needs a lot of energy. Why? Because it opens centers in the brain that are deactivated because there is not enough energy. So if you force these centers to open, you must have the energy to sustain them. And you cannot have it without pranayama. Pranayama, building and directing the energy, is an essential part of meditation. You might not do it exactly before meditation, but you have to do it during the day to build a good charge of energy, in order for this energy then to move into the nervous system and go up to the brain and open I call them God instincts, the instincts of God, programmings that are deactivated in humans, but they are there, deactivated, the instincts of God. And then we move into pratyahara, the yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, fifth step, pratyahara. Pratyahara means to detach from the senses. I would say to detach from life, to be able to have detachment, to be able, whatever happens in life, to detach from it. So detachment from life and from senses. And usually pranayama comes between pranayama and dharana, between the controlling of the prana and the concentration. It's a passing point where after you manage to control your energy, to build and control the energy, then you can feel that I don't care what is happening outside. I don't care if there are sounds, if there are smells, if nothing, I don't care anymore. They can be whatever, life can be any way, and I will move on. Okay, that was pratyahara, and then we go dharana. Dharana, a very, very, very important part of meditation. And some people confuse dharana with dhyana, with meditation. Concentration is not meditation. If you want to get a goal, to get something, to fulfill a desire, Dharana is the place to stay. That's it. You can't move into meditation. Dharana, concentration, is the highest level you can get. Dharana, concentration, to concentrate on one point, to concentrate the mind, to collect all prana that you've built, all the energy that you've built, and all the power of the mind in one place. The smaller and the more specific, the better. This will bring you slowly, without you choosing it, into dhyana, the 7th step, which is the meditation. Up to dharana, you need the ego. You need the ego to concentrate. And concentrate and concentrate and concentrate and concentrate until it goes. Until the ego disappears, is deactivated. It will come back. But this concentration on one point will settle down the ego, and the ego will be deactivated for a while, bringing us into dhyana, meditation. And then there is an 8th step, which is samadhi. It's a complete absorption. Then there is not even concentration point. So in dharana, you concentrate. I concentrate on something. In dhyana, there is no I, there is only something. And samadhi, there is nothing. I will repeat. Dharana, I concentrate on something. Dhyana, there is no I, only something. And samadhi, there is nothing. And when we get into dhyana, and the ego is settled down, is deactivated, there is the constant bliss. Constant bliss. So, a summary, and then we'll sit and practice together a technique following the 8 steps, so that we will be able to experience the deactivation of the ego. I don't know if there is this word, to settle down the ego together. And this technique, it's not advanced, not beginners at the technique. It's universal, it's for everyone. In every level of meditation you follow, this technique is a technique that will help us settle down the ego and let the soul come out. Okay? So, we said at the beginning that happiness, it's two kinds of happiness: a goal-oriented happiness and the continuous bliss. The goal-oriented happiness belongs to the bipolar world. It comes and goes, it's never constant, and is not what I'm here to teach you. Okay? Then we talk about the ego, and we said ego also is goal-oriented, so it's running after the goal-oriented happiness. But the ego has no desire to be happy. The ego is there to help us get what we want, to get what it wants, because the ego that wants it, to get what it wants and then want something else. Or to get rid of what it doesn't want and then find out what else he doesn't want, so we get rid of it as well. Happiness, ego, meditation. We described the 8 steps very quickly with one title each. I will say again the 8 steps, and then if you have some questions, now is the time to do the questions, I think. I don't know, the organizers can tell me, but if I describe now the 8 steps, and then if they have some questions, they can write in the comments, and then we'll do the practice. So we'll do the practice without having questions in our mind. Okay? I don't know if the organizers want something else, because I know it's the last 10 minutes. The questions are the last 10 minutes. Yeah. No, we will say if they have questions. Now we don't have any questions yet. Yes, no problem. I'll just describe now the 8 steps, ask for questions, and then go for the meditation. All right? And if they have questions after the meditation, it's okay. Yeah, we can we can do that as well. Well, so the 8 steps of Raja Yoga, the 8 steps of meditation. Asana, 5 techniques, life rules, 5 life rules not to build karma. Yama, 5 rules not to build karma. Niyama, 5 rules to burn karma. Asana, steady and comfortable posture for meditation. Pranayama, building and controlling our vitality. Pranayama. Pratyahara, detachment from the senses and life. Pratyahara. Dharana. Pratyahara, yes, dharana, concentration on one point. Dhyana, losing the concentration and becoming the point. And samadhi, there is not even point. Okay? If there are any questions, we can answer them now, and then we move into the concentration technique. I will read one more thing about Dr. Swami Gitananda and happiness. He says, only in the deepest states of inner relaxation, of total surrender through self-discipline, does the real transcended, transpersonal experience begin. Then we know what happiness is. I'll read it again. Only in the deepest states of inner relaxation. Why? Because we lose the ego there. Of total surrender through self-discipline does the real transcended, transpersonal experience begin. Then we know what happiness is. It's beautiful. He can say one sentence and I can get a whole article about it. It's so many, his words are so compressed. And this is how Swami Gitananda was, and this is how Dr. Ananda is also. One sentence, you make an article. Beautiful. Thank you very much. I thank my teachers so much about it. Well, I don't see any questions, so I'll move on. Okay? No questions. Okay, I will continue. Yes. So we'll sit and practice the fourfold awareness by Swami Gitananda again. Fourfold awareness. 4 steps to get into a deepest awareness. And when I say, in my point of view, the fourfold awareness is bringing us slowly into the awareness of the soul, of being without the ego. So the fourfold awareness will slowly lead us to the awareness of the soul and the deactivation of the ego. 10 minutes. All right. Yes, no problem. So we have 10 minutes to practice our fourfold awareness. So sit and let me close. You can close your eyes. You can keep your eyes open. There is no problem. Whatever happens, it happens inside. If you want to detach from the senses easier, you can close your eyes and just be aware of your body. Awareness of the body, and see if there are any discomforts, the shape of the body, how you sit. Try to sit with your back straight. Be aware that you have a body. You have this beautiful instrument, the body. Be aware of the body. Be aware of the feet, the ankles, the shins, the knees, thighs, buttocks, pelvis, abdomen, chest, spine, fingers, palms, wrists, elbows, shoulders, neck, back of the head, face, top of the head, the eyebrow center. Just be aware of the body. The heart is beating. The internal organs are working. You have this machine working for you. And now be aware of the breath. The breath is very much connected with emotions. So breathe and see what you feel, what emotions you have right now. And every time the emotions change, the breath is changing. So just explore your emotions. Do you feel happy? Do you feel sad? Do you feel angry? Do you feel bored? Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel excited? And realize that the emotions do not have any intelligence. The emotions are coming and going without reason, without logic, without any goal. If they are on their own, they have no intelligence. And they are not steady at all. So whatever you feel right now might change in a while. And it will definitely change tomorrow. So experience the feelings as you experience the clouds into the sky. They pass by, they change shapes, colors. The feelings, the emotions are an excellent boost if we want to do something. If we do it with emotion, it comes quicker, better. Huh? But remember that on their own, they do not have intelligence. They need something, they need the mind, they need the ego, they need the soul, even to support them. They cannot be by their own. So realize the changing of the emotions. And then we go to the mind. This very powerful organ that we need to train. Be aware of your thoughts and realize, are they thoughts directed from the emotions or the emotions directed by the thoughts? What kind of thoughts do you have? Can you stop your thoughts if you choose to? Just be aware of that. Can I stop thinking right now? Can I change the way I think? If I don't like a thought, can I just let it go? Or it's there insisting to exist. If a thought becomes chitta-vritti, unconscious whirlpools, then it's very difficult to get rid of it. It's independent. So how many independent thoughts do we have? Okay, that's the third part of the awareness. So it's body, emotions, and thoughts. And realize that all these are changing. All these are not permanent. And that all these are not you. What you are is awareness of awareness. So you are aware of your body, aware of your emotions and your breath, aware of your mind. And now just be aware that you are aware. And just try to experience this for 3 minutes. Awareness of awareness. Without body, without emotions, without thoughts, without any qualities, without any plans for the future, any memories from the past. Just awareness of awareness. Be aware that you are aware and nothing else. No past, no future, no plans, no memories, no name, no qualities, no talents, no faults, nothing. Just awareness. okay, you will realize that if you manage to deactivate the body, mind, and emotions, and you stay in awareness of awareness, there is the total bliss. There you can realize you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, you are not even the body and the discomfort or comfort of the body. And you are just awareness. And this awareness will bring Ananda state, the total bliss. And every time we forget about it, we can pass through the fourfold awareness and remember it again. No matter how many times we do it, we will forget it and we will remember it again. Thank you very, very much. I hope some people manage to get something out of it. And again, congratulations for this festival. Thank you.
Thank you for this extraordinary information. On a lighter note, we now know the secret of being happy. Thank you, Yogacharini Anandhi, for being our IFSI guest. We will gather here for our next conversation of the day, the doctrine of peace, at 4:30 p.m. See you soon.